Do you know that the BBC has a record of tax evasion in the UK? Before we get to this, as you know, the IT officials in India conducted surveys at BBC's Delhi and Mumbai offices to investigate issues related to international taxation and transfer pricing of BBC subsidiary companies. Now, a number of people are confusing IT survey with IT raids. So let us first understand what an IT survey is. As per the provisions of the Income Tax Act, investigations into repeat alleged offences is called a survey. Such surveys are routinely conducted and are not to be confused to be in the nature of a search or raid. In the case of the BBC, there has been persistent non-compliance with the above-mentioned rules for years. As a result of the same, several notices have been issued to the BBC. However, the BBC has been continuously defiant and non-compliant and has significantly diverted their profits. The key focus of these surveys is to look into manipulation of prices for unauthorized benefits, including tax advantages. In this case, BBC has been supposedly non-compliant under transfer pricing rules, persistent and deliberately violative of transfer pricing norms, and deliberately diverted significant amount of the profits and have not followed the arm's length arrangement in the case of allocation of profit. Coming to all the noise being generated around this, every country has its rules and regulations, and so does India, under which media companies can operate. Therefore, BBC India is no special. Then how is it that a certain section of people are defending BBC and placing the blame on the Indian government, terming the surveys as coercion tactics? No discussion is taking place on the several notices sent to BBC offices, upon which they failed to act or even establish some form of cooperation. In fact, BBC's track record back home in the UK isn't good either. Thousands of public employees, including those at the BBC, were not paying their taxes at the source, according to a 2012 report from the Public Accounts Committee in the UK. David Smith, the then BBC's head of employee tax, had admitted that 25,000 contracts covering roughly 1,500 staff had been granted on an off-book freelancing basis, but he argued that the company abided by the laws. Stars in 2018 who were dealing with hefty debts following a tax investigation accused BBC of engaging in industrial-level tax avoidance. The BBC was involved in yet another dispute in 2019. According to the BBC annual report, the media organisation had set aside up to £12 million to settle the past tax debts of BBC broadcasters who were being investigated by HMRC for using personal service firms to evade taxes. Various reports suggest that BBC has a record of tax evasion in the UK as well. So it is well within the right of the Indian government to investigate them under the Indian IT rules. Now, coming to another aspect here, a certain section of people in India or even those abroad are quick to criticize the Indian government in this regard. But what happens when other nations take actions on media entities as per their rules and regulations? In fact, there are several channels in the UK that were banned for showcasing the UK in bad light or did not conform with the laws of the land. Russia Today was banned by the UK government that called it state-sponsored propaganda. Pakistan's ARY Channel 2 was banned for not paying due to the distributors. KTV or Khalsa Television Limited for breach of broadcasting rules containing material likely to incite violence was also banned. CGTN, China Global Television Network, was banned in the UK because license holders cannot be controlled by a political body. No objection from any corner was made. So how is it that when the Indian government acts, a certain lot cries foul? If financial irregularities are found, there's a great chance that BBC India will be in the dock. Until then, premature conclusions or reactions only reek of brown sepoy syndrome. Let us know in the comments below if you found this video insightful. Until next time, this is Richa Dwivedi signing off. Dhanyavad and Namaste.